Busy educators, welcome to Tech Time for Educators, where we're short on time but big on tech ideas. My name is Kathy Jenkins, and I will be your host for this show. I'm a music teacher from Wheelersburg, Ohio, and I'm currently working on my master's degree in classroom technology from Bowling Green State University. I'm creating this video series as part of my final capstone presentation and hope that educators will get a better grasp of technology and utilize it as an excellent tool in the classroom in just a few minutes of time. In today's quick episode, we're going to talk about a site called Curipod. Curipod is a great site I discovered when going to our state technology conference this past year, and I want to share what I've learned with you. We'll provide 4 practical tips to integrate it into your classrooms in just a few minutes, saving you time and boosting student learning. The 4 tips I want to talk to you about today are: what is Curipod? How to create full lessons, Curify my slides with customizable lessons, and finally, the Curi-Quiz. So let's get started. Curipod is an online platform that uses artificial intelligence to help teachers create and deliver interactive lessons for K-12 students. The basic principle is that you input your standard or what you want Curipod to create, add a grade level, and in less than a minute, it can create a full slide presentation to use in your classroom. Not only that, Curipod is interactive. It creates lessons and activities. Curipod can generate outlines, discussion questions, polls, word clouds, drawings, and so much more. On their website, they say that the best learning happens when you are deeply motivated to learn and grow. They do this by helping you ask questions and discuss with others. I am amazed at all the help this site has to offer when creating uniquely generated lessons to enhance student learning. I thought I would look up some more information about Curipod. They have 7 standards or principles which they go by, and it's what really brings this program to light. Some of those include inspiring students to be curious and flexible thinkers, making learning relevant, encourage students to learn with and from each other, and make space for students to have a say in their learning. What I love most about this program is the student involvement and piquing their curiosity, which, by the way, is how they came up with their name. Students are engaged like never before with this site. So let's dive into Curipod a little more. When you first get to Curipod, it's easy to create a free account. You can also sign in using your Google sign-in information as well. Once you're logged in, you will be directed to the home page. From here, you'll see that all there is to offer, but we're only going to focus on a few today, with hopes of seeing more of this site in future episodes. Now, we're going to look for this full lesson icon right here, and we're going to click on it. And this is where it's going to, the next page that it's going to pull up, and it's going to ask, a lot like other AI sites, how you want to customize this lesson. I'm going to keep this really simple and pick my grade level is 3rd grade. And my daughter, when she was in 3rd grade, she learned about Milton Hershey. Okay. So I'm going to customize now, and we're going to see what Curipod comes up with to help her teacher enhance this lesson. So once you hit customize now, this is where the magic begins, and you have to give it a few seconds as it pulls together material from AI to create our slideshow. It gives you some fun little quotes to read, and it will also give you on the side, the way it works. As you can see, that only took about 10 seconds. And here's my full lesson. If I scroll down through here, it says create a starting point for a full lesson, including instructional slides and activities. So what this did was it created an entire slideshow for me to use in my class. And we're going to go through a few of these items and talk about it. So from this page, this is an overview of it. We'll go into the edit section here in a minute. But you'll see that it has an opening slide for you, the sweet story of Milton Hershey, discovering the man who made chocolate for everyone. And their second slide, they always make a Curipod slide, and it says to remember to check for factual mistakes or bias before using this lesson. You can edit anything in this presentation, including adding in your own images, illustrations, or videos from the Media tab. And remember to delete this slide. So you don't want your kids seeing that. So you can always just delete it and not have to worry about it. The next slide normally talks about the standards covered. And then by slide 4, you really get into the bulk of your lesson. So I'm going to go up to the top and I'm going to click on the edit button. Now, when I go to the edit scene or screen, it's going to show my first slide because I've got it highlighted, and this is what it looks like. I can go to my second slide, go to my 3 dots, and say, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and delete that while I'm thinking about it. And my kids, this is more for me. I'm going to go ahead and delete this page as well because this is going to be put up on my smart board for the kids to see. So as you go through along the top of these slides, you'll see slide, it'll say poll, it might say drawings or AI whiteboard. Let's talk about these. So if it just says slide, that's normally just a content slide. So for instance, slide 2, who was Milton Hershey? It talks about his chocolate dreams and a sweet legacy. And if it has anything other than slide, that normally means it's an interactive. So if you notice at the top, it says join at Curi.live with PIN number, and it gives the PIN number. You can click on that we'll talk about this a little bit later. Students can actually join from their devices, Chromebooks, or whatever they're using, and they can answer questions along the way because this is what Curipod wanted. Curipod wanted to get kids' curiosity piqued, and it wants students to work together and work through problems. So we just learned about Milton Hershey in slide 2, and by slide 3, it does like a really quick review poll. What is Milton Hershey best known for? And so it gives you choices. And as the kids interact, you'll start seeing these bars pop up as to how many students have answered what question. And as you go along, you'll see more slides with content. Here's another activity slide that they put in. And that's what I love about Curipod is all these different activities. This one says, draw a picture of Milton Hershey's first candy shop. Include details like the chocolates and caramels in the window and people buying sweets. But then on the side, it has the instructions. It says sit together in pairs on this task using one device. Use text or drawing visuals to show your thinking. So this is just one of the ways that Curipod gets everybody involved. They have another one called the AI whiteboard. It's very similar. We're going to discuss those more in another section, another episode in the future. They also have polls. What year? Here's just like the beginning. We had a poll to see what was going on. And as you can see, I'm going to scroll on through. When I get to towards the end, it has another question, or they call them polls. But then they have this thing called AI feedback. And this is basically how Curipod does their exit tickets. So it says, what innovative step did Milton Hershey take in creating the town of Hershey, Pennsylvania, that demonstrated his commitment to his workers' well being? And so on this, your students will answer the question. And then when they enter it, they will automatically get AI feedback. And the way the AI feedback works is that it brings it, they try to give you a job well done on your answer, and then they try to give you some constructive criticism on how you might change your answer to better fit the question. Unless you're spot on, and then it's probably going to say something like good job, but it will always add some extra comments to it. Now, these are really easy to edit. I at any time I can go in here, and down here at the bottom, you'll see a plus sign. I can add a new slide. So you can create your own. You can do open questions, drawings, polls. One of my favorites is word clouds, and I want to show you how these word clouds work. So if I click on word cloud, and let's say I want my word cloud all the way at the beginning, so I'm going to slide that all the way to slide number 2, and I want this word cloud to be, what is your favorite Hershey chocolate? Okay. And so I've put my question in. I can have answers. If I want kids to answer with 1, 2, 3, or I could do unlimited. And I can give them a time limit. And I can say at the very beginning of the lesson, what's your favorite Hershey chocolate? I'm going to give you 1 minute and name as many Hershey chocolates as you can, which I probably should have changed this to name as many Hershey chocolates as you can. And so during that time period, words will start, as you're in presentation mode, words will start just popping up all over the screen. And I think kids that double their words, the words get bigger. So it's just a really fun activity. It's a good bell ringer to start your lesson out. And it kind of gets kids interactive and actively partaking in the lesson from the beginning. And so there's so much to do. Over here on the side, you can upload things, you can add more text boxes, you can add pictures in if I wanted to look up pictures about chocolate and upload those and put them in here. You have elements where you can add shapes or stickers, and there's a whole bunch of different things. You can change the background color. So if you want this slide to be orange, you can easily do that. And so as you can see, Curipod is just, the more you look at it, the more you'll see that it can do. And at any time, you can go over to this present button over in the top right hand corner, and you can look at it with moderation, which means you can see what your kids are doing, or you can just preview at your own pace with a host and a student view. So I'm going to click on that preview real quick. And so this is what it looks like from the student side. And they put in this code 113120, and they join, and then you'll get to see what the kids see on their device. Now you punch in your real name. My name is Kathy, and I'll submit it, and it says, great, you're in. So what I love about Curipod is it gives you a fun nickname. Mine is Amazing Lamp, but the teacher only sees Kathy. So that's what I like, is that it's, the kids don't know who each other are, and so that way they feel a little bit more led to answer more honestly and freely. So they can go through the slides with you, and they can focus on one thing. So as we're going through these slides, we'll get to slide number 2, and when I go to hit play, and you go to you start typing in your answers. I'm trying to figure out, for some reason it's not, oh, it's because I didn't hit play yet. When I hit play, this will set a timer, and then my kids will start answering um, along with everything else. So that's one of the features with Curipod that is great. Responses are not saved because it's in a preview. So this is how you would create a full lesson with Curipod. And next, we're going to see how you can take Curipod to enhance one of your already made lessons. Another great feature of this site is called Curify My Slides. This takes one of your already existing slide presentations in Google Slides or PowerPoint. You can insert your presentation, and Curipod adds interactive slides to yours to help get your students more involved with the lesson. It's located on your homepage right here under Curify My Slides. And here is where you drop or click and select a presentation, and then you just hit Customize Now. I've already done that with one of my lessons, so I'm going to go ahead and just pull that one up. I created a web quest last year for my students to learn about rap music. I uploaded my slides to Curipod and waited for the magic to happen. It's so easy to upload a PDF or a PowerPoint. Just remember, if you're using Google Slides, you'll first want to download as a PDF before uploading to Curipod. From here, I'm going to go in my edit mode. I can very easily see which ones were my slides and which ones were added by Curipod because they're a different color. From the beginning, it added a word cloud and an open question slide. I really like the word cloud slide, so I'll definitely keep that one for sure. For this lesson, it asks, what is the first word that comes to your mind when you think about hip hop? This gets the entire class to be involved from the beginning. And then it offers an open question. This brings it to an individual level for students to respond. As they make their way through the web quest, you can edit anything you may or may not want that has been added. In the case of my web quest, it only added slides to the beginning and the end of the original presentation because it already has students doing work along the way. Curipod added a choice board drawing activity where students work in pairs to work on part of the project. And as always, Curipod normally adds some sort of AI feedback slide, and this is always back to an individual answer where AI will respond to what each student types. So as I scroll through my lesson, I see it's all the way here at the end. AI feedback. At the end of mine, Curipod added a poll as an exit ticket for the class. This helps me as a teacher to see how the lesson went and helps me to know what I might work on to make it run more smoothly next time. As teachers, we are constantly changing and growing with our students, and sometimes adjustments just need to be made. Curipod helps add things to our presentations that we might not have to do. Oh, there's one last thing I want to show you with Curipod. I could do several videos because I've only just begun to touch the surface of this amazing tool. So here's my final must-have for this site. This feature I want to show you is Curi-Quiz. Curi-Quiz is the perfect activity to practice vocabulary, concepts, or anything else you can think of. When you get to the Curi-Quiz page, you customize the lesson by entering an open question that would have many right answers. It could be a review of rap music, a question about Milton Hershey, or what I'm going to use here today, and that is have students name as many instruments as they can to be the beginning of my instrument family unit. So from here, I'm going to customize. And as it's customizing, it does this. It happens very quickly with the quizzes. And it gives a quick description of what's expected. Pair up as a team. Come up with as many right answers as you can within 2 minutes. Every correct answer gives you 1 point. And then for each score you get to earn a rank. So on this, I would probably keep the Curi-Quiz rules. And then down here, it shows the rank, how many points you need to earn to get different things. And then hit starts. Name as many instruments as you can. And it gives you some hints. Consider orchestras, bands, solo performers. And then it has a non-comprehensive list of words which would give you points. I would take that out because those are probably some pretty quick words that my kids should come up with. And they get to do the interactive part of it, and they absolutely love it. I also did this leading up to my music genre lesson, where students had to name as many genres as they could within a certain time limit. And you can set the time limit for as little or as much time as you would like. I keep most of mine at 2 minutes, but if you're only wanting students to input just a few words, you could always shorten it down to 30 seconds or even a minute. This site does offer courses in how to use Curipod more. You can become a certified educator through these courses and learn a lot more great ways to use Curipod as an educator. Have you tried using Curipod in your classroom? Share your tips and tricks in the comments below. And from time-saving tips to tech breakthroughs, tech time for teachers, making education a breeze. Don't forget, even the most high-tech teacher needs a human touch. So keep on rocking. Until next time.